Today we're going to be looking at Revell's F-105G Thunderchief Wild Weasel kit in 1/48 scale. Now this aircraft is one that, in all honesty, at least in the 1/48 scale, hasn't gotten a lot of love. To my knowledge, Revell is the only one that has a 105 out currently. So let's dig into this one. Now, one thing you may notice, this is a Revell Germany kit, so it does open up fairly in this sort of fashion. Now, first thing right out the gate, you'll notice this is a big aircraft. I mean, this is 1/48 scale, and it's big, as you can see here from the two fuselage halves together. So that is something to be aware of, is just the size of it. Excuse me. Looking at some detail, it's all raised panel lines, so that is something to be aware of. On the inside, we do have our side panels molded in. They do seem a little bit on the heftier side. No flashing, at least here, which is always good. Much the same on this other side. Continuing on. Next up, we have some of the weapons and equipment pods. Kit comes with 2 Shrikes and 1 standard. Would have been nice that they included a second standard. Centerline pod and 2 of the wing stations. Details much the same as saw on the fuselage. Moving on, we have the air brakes, wheels, landing gear, gear doors, tail fins, more landing gear, and of course our engine, exhaust, nose cone. Main gear detailing on the inside is fairly bland here on the wings. Again, raised detail all around, save for a couple spots. Overall workable, but definitely not up to today's standards. Continuing on, here we have the bottom side of the fuselage, or the wings, sorry. And one other thing to note, much like a lot of Revell's kits, it does have the copyright information printed on the wing. And in fact, you can actually tell when this kit originally was designed back in '82. So tells you how old this kit is. Again, main gear detail is a little better here, but still lacking, especially compared to today's standards. Do have 1 wing fuel tank. Don't like how they did the main gun, as you have this outer section and inner, so that's going to make painting a little difficult. One area where this kit does pick up a little is the instrument panel. There's the details there, but is still, again, could be better, both front and back. Exhaust pedals seem a little on the thicker side, so something to be aware of. On that, just a couple odds and ends, and the nose gear doors. Not like these side open kits, as it does make getting parts out much more difficult. And sorry about that. Dropped the main section that I was about to just show you, and it somehow walked off. Which, considering it's not a mole, so hang on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Again, why I do not care for these side open boxes, as it's far too easy for parts to come out on their own. So here we have the main cockpit tub. Detail, at least in this part, is definitely fairly poor. Definitely, if you get the chance, or if there are one, find an aftermarket upgrade, as this one, it just gives you the bare bones and none of the real detail. Canopies, though, are fairly good. No mold lines, none, so they're just drop in and you're good to go. Now, the decal sheet is another beast altogether, as this was more newly printed, so all crisp and nice. Get a full set of stencils, which I do like. Gives you all the little odds and ends there. A couple of the marking options that could be better, such as this one, but I do like you get two different shark mouth options, which to me you can never go wrong with a shark mouth. Now, last but not least, is the instruction sheet. Now, much like a lot of the Revell Germany kits, you get the paint scheme in this sort of call out, which is a bit of a pain to work with, but all the detail instructions are very detailed. It gives you painting and marking instructions for just about everything, which is good and at the same time bad, as it really complicates things. As just trying to keep track of making sure you've done everything gets to be tedious really quickly. That, and this kit does have a lot of small parts, and making sure you put everything in the right way and hoping you don't miss something does get to be a pain. Now, as I said before, you're only given the loading scheme for this. However, it's easy enough to scrounge some air-to-ground missiles from Hasegawa's aftermarket options. As I said before, you get stencils for everything, which makes me very happy. You do get a lot. Though for some reason they marked this as an F-105F. Not familiar with that. I think there might have been an electronic warfare version of the 105, but I'm not 100% sure. It is nice that they do give you the options, though, to build such a version right out of the box. Moving on to our paint options. Again, you get a total of, I believe, 5 options, all in Southeast Asia camouflage. So overall, this kit is a mixed bag. I mean, there's some things I do like about it. At the same time, there are other parts that I really do not care for. So I would say, be aware that you're going to be going into this with a challenge. As some of the, obviously all the stuff you have to do to get it to look good is going to take time. But at the same time, since this is, to my knowledge, the only 105 in this scale, you're kind of hamstrung there, as this is really the only option. But overall, I'd say it's definitely one that can build up to look really good. But you're going to have to put time and effort into it. Again, I will not stress this enough. I really do not like this type of box on kits, because it's just really easy for stuff to get damaged when you're trying to get it packed up or taken out. So that was a look at Revell's F-105G Thunderchief in 1/48 scale. Till next time.